Dear brothers and sisters, I'd like to focus on the theme that we have for the year, which was to experience bliss in 2026. Our meditation is the key through which we experience that state. And so, as we talk about bliss, it's a state of a soul that we all want to be in. When we look at our lives, we feel there are many ups and downs in life. And the ups and downs in life are the ones which bring trouble to ourselves. And as we go through our day-to-day lives, and each and every one of us is busy with many activities which we think are very important, we feel that things many times are happening that don't make us happy. Things that are contrary to what we would expect. And then we start to wonder if we can ever attain a state of bliss. What is very interesting is many times many of us confuse happiness and bliss for being the same thing. What we need to understand is that there's a big difference between the two. Happiness is a state of feeling. Happiness is a feeling that we have when things go according to what we wish. So if we wish that this thing should happen and it happens, then we're very happy. If we want something to happen and it happens, we're very happy. If something happens contrary to what we want, or what we expect, or what we believe should happen, or what we wish should happen, then we're in pain, we're distraught. And so happiness has an opposite to us. So when things are not happening the way we want, then we get unhappy. We're in sorrow, we're in distress, we're in pain. Bliss is a state of the soul. And so bliss is a state which is inherent in each and every one of us, because it's a characteristic of the soul. And there is no state which is a state called unbliss. So that's a big difference. Happiness and unhappiness, bliss has no unbliss. So happiness comes in our life, when our team wins, when we get good grades, when we, get married, we have kids, we are happy. Yeah. If these things are not happening, let's say our team doesn't win, or if, we get grades that are not as good, and we're not getting married, we're not having kids, and we're unhappy. Yeah. But bliss is a state of a soul which is always there. And saints and mystics have all been talking about us trying to achieve that state. So the areas which put us in that arena are the areas that the spiritual masters have all talked about. Going to satsang, meditating, and selfless service are the three main areas which help us attain the state of bliss. Now, bliss is a state of a soul, and our soul, being a part of God, is a part of that ocean of all bliss, because with God, there is nothing but bliss. There's always joy, joy which is eternal, joy which is lasting, joy which is always going to be there. And so, saints and mystics have always exhorted us that our soul, being a part of the Creator, is in that state. So the state of bliss is not something that we need to attain. Happiness is something that we need to attain, because if it goes along with what we want, then we're happy. But bliss is a state which is inherent, it is always there. So it's a question of us just attaining it. That the state of bliss is always internal, is always there with our soul. It's a question of, can we get to it or we can't get to it. If we look at our lives, there are two actions that happen in our life. Either whatever we're doing, whatever we're thinking, whatever we're talking is something about God, or whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we talk about is something not about God. Now, when we are engrossed in the activities of the world, when we are just thinking about this physical world, when we're talking about this physical world, when we are engrossed in the physical world, all our attention is in the physical world, then we're not talking about God, we're not thinking about God. So those are the times of pain. Those are the times of trouble. Those are the times of difficulties. And the time that we spend in thinking about God, like when we're doing Simran, when we're repeating God's name, remembrance about God, like when we go to satsang and there's talk about the Creator and the truth and the connection between us and the Creator, and the times when we are helping someone, not for any gains for ourselves, but to bring joy into their life. So those are the times which are blissful, because in that time we are focused on the Creator. And so saints and mystics have been always exhorting us to get to those states. Sant Rajinder Singh Ji Maharaj, who wrote much about the spiritual path, because he went through the life of a disciple, and most of his poetry written at the time of his discipleship, because when the spiritual mantle fell on his shoulders to carry on the spiritual work after Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj, I think he was so busy helping each and every one of us that there wasn't time enough to write more poetry. So most of his poetry is written when he was a disciple, in the times when he experienced the spiritual path through the grace of Hazur Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj and Param Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj. And so Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, who went through life just like we all go through life, talks about the experiences that we might be going through. He takes examples of a regular person and then talks about the experiences that he's had himself and how his realization of spirituality or about God or the true path, came to him, so that we all can gain through his experiences. And he's written many, many verses. It's very interesting when you read his verses. They all talk about a different aspect of spirituality or a different aspect of how we should live or how should we understand this life. Because if we understand what this life is all about, then we will lead it in the right manner. But if we don't understand it, and if our understanding is that we live in this world and our attention should be on the world and everything that's important is of this world and there's nothing else that is important, then our life would be only lived in that manner where our attention would be on the world outside. So to get a better understanding of ourselves, Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj taken examples of this world and talked about the spiritual path, so that if we are going through that phase of life, we would understand what truth is, and so that our life could be lived in the best possible manner. So I'd like to take a verse of Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, which talks about how can we be in that state of bliss. Which talks about where our attention is, and once we understand this verse, I think our understanding of where we are and what we're doing comes out loud and clear. And so Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj now, through this verse, is talking about the pains that we find in this world. He's talking about the suffering that comes in, and then he talks about how do we lead our lives during those times. When there are times when things are not working as we like them to work, we get distraught. We go in a down spiral, we get depressed, and then we don't do anything. And so not doing anything in Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj's life is not the answer to anything. His life was very positive. He wanted to make sure that we're all very positive. So he coined this word, positive mysticism. Most people would think of mysticism as always being negative before Sant Rajinder Singh Ji Maharaj, because people say, oh, you need to find God, you need to leave your homes on earth, to go to an ashram, be alone by yourself and just meditate 24 hours a day, and then only you'll find God. But Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj called that negative mysticism and said that's negating life. And he said we can live with our families, we can go through all that we have to go through in our day-to-day lives. We can live in our cultures. It's not that you find spirituality in one part of the world and not another part of the world. It's not like God is only available to a certain few people and not others. So he said that while living in the societies, while living in our home, while living in whatever life we are living, whatever our professions are, we can all find God. Okay? We just need to understand that we all have a connection with God, and that connection with God can be experienced in our own homes. We don't have to go to a certain place to find God, because God is with each and every one of us. So if we have that understanding, then we won't be running here to find God, or there to find God, or there to find God. And also because he could see people going through pain, going through suffering. Because, as you lead life, you talk to people, you see people. He also saw the partition of India, and there was a lot of bloodshed at that time. He also saw sufferings where people were in pain, and he also saw where there would be people who have a very tough time having a meal to eat. So he experienced a lot of difficulties that people see in life. And so he's making us understand that those are coming in our life, not what we think. Many of us think that difficulties are in our life because God is not happy with us. That's what we think. We think, oh, this problem came in because God is not happy. Or we think God is very busy helping someone else and doesn't have the time to help us. Or God has forsaken us. These are some of the things we think when we are passing through a difficult time. Let's say we lose a job. Let's say, our stocks have gone down tremendously. Let's say we got a sickness in the family, or illness in the family. Let's say our relationships but with our loved ones are not congenial. There's difficulties coming there. So many times we think, oh, God is not helping us. Yeah. But Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj would make us understand that these ups and downs of life are coming because of ourselves. We in reality are a soul, but we think we're the body and the mind. Okay? And so as we've passed through previous existence in the human body, we've had thoughts and we've had words and we have deeds. So we created karma for ourselves. And based on that karma is why many things happen in life. And it's not that everything that happens in life is because of our karmas, because if that were the case, then we don't have to do anything. We can't do anything. He would tell us there's only 75% of our life. We still have 25% free will to use the time that God has given us to see, are we thinking about God? Are we talking about God? Are we going towards God? Or are we thinking about the world? We're talking about the world and acting in the world. Yeah. That time has been given to us to make our life better, so that we can get off the wheel of transmigration, so we can burn all the karma which is associated by us in this lifetime. So he believed in positivity, that irrespective of whatever the pains are, whatever the difficulties are, we can definitely reach our goal. Okay? It's a question of where we focus our attention. The 25% of our free will, if it's focused on God, is good enough for us to get back to God. And if we have that understanding, then we will be able to pass through life. he is not negating, like he's not saying, yeah, leave your jobs. He says we need to work, we need to support ourselves, we need to support our families, we need to take care of ourselves, we need to take care of those we love, then we need to take care of our communities, we need to take care of the whole world. He wants each and every one of us to first perfect ourselves and then have that perfection be reflected to others. Because it's only who we are in reality that can impress someone else or can have a effect on someone else, is what we should say. Just talking about something does not have any effect. It's being who you are that has an effect. And so Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj is always talking about us first perfecting ourselves before we start to perfect someone else. And so he's always talking about us being the right kind of human being that we should be. That God has sent us here to be a true human being. Okay? And a true human being is one who loves God. A true human being is one who loves their family. A true human being is one who loves all creation. A true human being is one whose direction is towards God. And so Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, when you go through his poetry is very positive. Each and every verse of his, if you try to understand, is always positive. Because he first tells us what the difficulty might be and then gives us the solution. It's not like, many people in this world we find, they tell you, oh, this is wrong with you, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. They don't have a solution. They know what your difficulty is, but they don't have a concrete physical or a mental or a spiritual solution. But Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, whenever you read his verses, he would first focus on what could be something that can be improved. Are we looking in the right direction? Are we understanding our situation? Do we know what is going on? And then he'll give a solution. Okay, this could be the difficult situation you're going through, and this is the solution that you have so that this difficult period that you're going through is not affecting you any. It's behind you. It's not bringing any difficulties to you. So in this verse, Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj is talking about how should we lead our lives in this world which is full of pain and sorrow. Yeah. So he says, Game jahan ko, game ziz ko, bhula ke piyo. Game jahan ko, game ziz ko, bhula ke piyo. Haseen geet, mohabbat ke, gunguná ke piyo. कि हसीन गीत मोहब्बत के गुनगुना के पियो. So if we translate this into English, it would be, while drinking this nectar, forget the sorrows of life and the pains of the world. He's saying, while drinking this nectar, forget the sorrows of life and the pains of the world and hum songs of beauty and love. Then hum songs of beauty and love. So Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj is telling us, okay, there'll be sorrows of life and there'll be pains of the world. So Game Jahan means like pains of the world. Jahan is the world and Gam means like pain. So he's saying, there'll be pains of the world. There'll be times of physical difficulties. I mean, most of us as we age, we start to realize that now. All of a sudden, it becomes difficult to get out of bed. I mean, we could just jump out of bed and go and do something. Now they say, get up, stand, move, then walk. What is this all about? We never knew that before, right? But we're learning. There's the pains of life, so are the joys of life, right? So the physical things happen to the body, There are difficulties. Sometimes we fall down. We might hurt ourselves. And there's a pain in the body. So he said, don't worry about it. It's going to be there. There are also, difficulties come emotionally. Many times in a family, you have difficulties. Sometimes between friends, there are misunderstandings. and there are difficulties that come in. Friendships which have been there for many years, as soon as you get married, many of them don't last that long. Difficulties do come in, and there are friendships that have been there, and somehow there's a misunderstanding, and have difficulties. There are also difficulties which are coming, just at a places of work. You might have bosses which might be very difficult to work with. There might be difficulties coming. You got construction on the roads, it's taking much longer to get to work. All these difficulties do come in life. You want to catch a flight, to sit in the plane for 8 hours or something before they take off. All these things happen, right? So he's saying, okay, Gamme Jahan ko, he's saying these are the pains of the world. Okay? These are the pains that we are going to be happening, because then there are these pains that are also happening because of difficulties in the world. Like wars would come in. Okay? And if there's a war going on in the world, we're all pained. There'll be famines that come in. People can't get enough food. It pains all of us. We want to help them, right? And if there's like earthquakes come in or the fires will happen, that these, we're living in this world, and so there'll be pain. So he's saying, Game jahan ko, game zees ko, bula ke piyo. So there'll be pain in the world, and there'll be pains of our own existence. Because we exist, this human body will have pain. Because we live in this world, there'll be pains of the world. So he's saying, these pains are going to be there. We should recognize that these pains will be there. Don't think these are only happening to us. Many of us have trouble in our knees. It's not that if our knees are not working well, if they're painful, that we're the only ones who have knees. It's just a question of what age is going to hit us. Okay? Many of us have digestion problems. It's not like one person has it. It's going to happen at some time in our life. Many of us will have trouble getting out of bed. This happens with time. So he's saying, don't think that you are the only one who's having the problem. Because when we have that problem, we think, God, I'm the only one. We run to this doctor, that doctor, find out this, find out that, read on Google, and now maybe Chat GPT or Cloud or whatever else is happening. And so we want to be knowledgeable because it's hit us. Before that, we don't care. And so Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj is telling us that these things are a part of life. Something is gonna go wrong. Okay? Don't worry. Be happy. Because if something happens, then it goes away too. Okay? It's not staying there forever. And so here Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj is saying that Game Jahan ko, Game Zees ko, bhula ke piyo. So he's saying like the sorrows of life and the pains of the world will always be there, but you need to forget them. So let us start the spiritual rejuvenation program with a meditation, because there's nothing better than meditation to experience the divine nectar within. Please sit as comfortably as you can. Close the eyes very gently, just like you close them when you go to sleep. Your eyeballs should be straight, focus 8 or 10 inches in front of you. And as you close your eyes, please do your Simran. Right in front of you with time, light sprouts forth. And then keep your gaze right in the middle of experience with the grace of God and the grace of the three great spiritual masters, Hazur Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj, Param Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj, and Dayal Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj. May each and every one of you connect with the divine power within and experience the divine light in its effulgence. So we'll be sitting for a few minutes. I'll be getting you out of this meditative state, and my best wishes are with each and every one of you. Please leave off. Please leave off.